Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Top 10 Tuesday. I'm your host, the Lydian Comedian. So without further ado, let's get started. Our top 10 this week, we're going to go over the top 10 characters I'd like to see join the current and or a hypothetical future Fighter Pass. This will actually be quite different than my previous two lists, because instead of focusing on characters I want to play myself, I'm going to look for characters with a bit of a broader appeal. I would personally be satisfied with my favorite character, so after that I would like to see more and more people see their dream fighters come to Smash. Whether or not I have a particular affinity for the character myself. Maybe I should just refer to this list as my friends in my Fighter Pass. We're going to start things off with a few honorable mentions. I went over Scorpion a bit in our last video, but I don't know if I mentioned my brother's favorite character from the Mortal Kombat series is Sub-Zero. I would prefer to get both characters if it were at all possible. They could even be echoes to an extent if the Smash team chose to focus on their standard attacks reflecting classic Mortal Kombat attacks like uppercut being their smash attack and roundhouse kick being their forward smash, etc. And only really changing their special moves to individualize them. I wouldn't wholeheartedly want to see one without the other, so that's why they don't quite make a spot on this list, but I would pay good money for either. And I believe they would have the most shocking reveal trailer of all time. Say hello to our honorable mentions. This is another case where I would love to see two characters, and it would just be all the more awesome to see one with the other. And this will be the weirdest reasoning of any character on any list to date. Say hello to Agumon and Miles Tails Prower. I can only imagine how confusing this duo is for everyone. So let me try and explain. Tails, as I made it obvious in my previous top 10, is one of my favorite video game characters ever. But he's a little extra special to me because, well, weird story time here, folks. As kids, we gave our toys personalities and would pit them against each other in competitions. We would build Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon decks for them, or just throw them all on the trampoline and jump around until all but one had bounced off and deemed them the Royal Rumble champion. Yeah, there weren't any neighborhood kids for us to play with, and without a lot, our imaginations grew pretty wild and free. All that to say, our Tails, which was a stuffed raccoon, funny enough, was the toy I gave the most personality to, as my brother's stuffed Agumon was his. And they were the two biggest rivals you could ever imagine. Tails and Agumon had their own merit for joining Smash as just video game characters, Tails being the most iconic sidekick in all of video games. And the Digimon and Pokemon rivalry would be great to see settled once and for all. Not to mention the Digivolve mechanic would be a far cooler Arsene gimmick. It would just be really special to see Tails and Agumon go at it in my favorite franchise. Let's start this list off by saying I do not like fan rolls when it comes to Smash speculation. And a great candidate to break the last standing big fan rule is the Wah Man himself. Nah, this isn't just a meme pick or me hopping on some bandwagon. The rest of this list are going to be characters that I really want to see just for a friend. And this is the dream fighter of a YouTuber who not only wants this character for real, but actually changed my mind of how deserving he is. He also inspired me to do this smash tubing thing myself. I have wanted to make videos for a long time, and Slackers made me feel comfortable enough with the idea of putting out the best content I have time for and just rolling with it. So here we are. I would love to see his reaction to Waluigi joining the game. This will be the only fighter on any of my lists so far that I have to admit is a bit of a bandwagon pick. Dante in his series has never struck me as interesting enough to get into myself, but a great friend of mine expressed his severe want for him in Smash and actually got me thinking about playing the games myself. I really want my friends to be at their best with their most wanted fighters, especially those that are my most neck-and-neck rivals. I believe their game would step up to the next level if they had their favorite characters, and therefore bring a greater challenge I'd have to find a way to overcome. Dante, from what I can see, is not shy on potential as well. This will continue the trend of my Ike picks, where I pick for my friends. If I had my most wanted fighter, I would want to see my friends get their dream fighter more than me get any of my favorite characters. Because let's be real here, I'd be playing that one fighter too much to appreciate the other characters on the roster. So, Lloyd! Tales of Symphonia was a great game I got to play through with my brothers. And my younger brother played Lloyd as I played Sheena for the most part. Holy cow, how was Sheena not on my last list? Anyways, Lloyd would be a fine addition with plenty of uniqueness to set him apart from the other hated anime sword fighters. Maybe my brother would prefer Dr. Eggman or Isaac, and either would be amazing characters in their own right and could easily take this spot. But I have a lot more fond memories with me and my brother and Lloyd. Last week's Why Not winner and First Lady of Fighting Games takes our 7th slot. Chun-Li would be a great sight to see. Not only would she be a fighting game character I actually like, she's also my good friend and greatest Smash Rivals most wanted character. For now at least. His Dream Fighter tends to change here and there, so I'll take advantage of the moment and place who I consider the most iconic female in gaming as high up on this list as I can justify. I don't think a fighter should be seated on the sideline based on what is already in the game, just because we have 2 Street Fighters and even another Capcomer. I think Chun-Li's pros and merit as a character far outweigh her cons. My best friend in college introduced me to Halo, and I introduced him to the newest Smash at the time, which was Brawl. And we would play both anytime we found a second to breathe between our jobs and tons of classes. This guy is about the best friend a man could ask for, and to see our favorite games cross paths in the ultimate crossover would be amazing. And having spent so much time with the Chief, I can firsthand say that he would have one of the most interesting and fun movesets I can imagine. I know he's not the most popular pick from his parent company, but Spyro charges in. He isn't just special to my little sister either. He hails from an amazing series that my entire family enjoys. Most prioritize Crash Bandicoot when it comes to Smash speculation, and he may have been more popular back when the PlayStation first came out, but Spyro made leaps and bounds in the 3D platforming genre. While, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this opinion, Crash just came off to me as desperate to be relevant in the console wars. This coming from a huge fan of not only Sega, Nintendo, but also PlayStation. I just found Crash to be a little annoying with all his commercials and with his games not being anything special enough to back up all the trash talk. And then soon being outshined by much better characters in games like Final Fantasy VII and this here our Purple Dragon. With amazing moveset potential and a far underutilized quadrupedal fighting style, He would make an amazing character in the Fighter Pass. Though I haven't had the chance to play all of his games, I played enough to see how great a character Sora would make in Smash. As most characters on this list, he's one of my good friend's dream fighters, but he has the added bonus of being really wanted by many in my friend group, and being a fighter that would get an amazing reaction upon reveal across the world. If he found his way to overcome his parental controls, he would make a great fighter. Like Sora, Ryu Hayabusa would make a few of my friends very happy, and I would be ecstatic to see him join the roster myself. He's not specifically anyone I know's premier dream fighter, but being from my favorite classic NES platformer, as well as being an undeniable BA, he just feels like one of the great classic characters missing in Smash. He stood the test of time with his series and already proven he's more than comfortable in a fighting game. Some feel the need for a PlayStation representative to show up before Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC concludes. I don't know if it's necessary per se, but I would love to see Ratchet. With Clank, of course. He would be one of the most unexpected characters to join this fray and is my older brother's favorite character for Smash. I think it's such a bizarre idea that this character, along with all my friends' dream fighters, are at this point not only more expected but likely than the character I want most in Smash. But I digress. Ratchet and Clank would really push the envelope on what's considered possible, while being probably the most bittersweet of all if my dream fighter doesn't make the cut. So let's get right to him. The only character stopping this Super Smash Bros. From living up to its name, the ultimate Smash fighter, Bomberman. You may have seen this coming if you checked in with us last week, but the White Bomber becoming a full-blown Smash fighter would be too perfect. And my want for him joining the roster will always outweigh whatever his likelihood may be to truly join the Hall of Games. I've been waiting patiently for his inclusion for 2 and almost a half decades. His devastating assist trophy reveal was such a deep cut, I felt numb for months. From that point on, I knew I'd have to try much harder to showcase how amazing this character would be in Smash, and is the very reason I'm giving this channel as much effort as I can spare between work and other responsibilities. If I could play as Bomberman, I'd be satisfied with just about any other character to join the roster. Because, honestly, I'd have too many years of blowing up opponents to make up for. I wouldn't get too many opportunities to play as anyone else, and that would make seeing my friends' fighters make the cut all the more special. It's rough having watched my most wanted fighter being passed up time and time again. But I do my best to try and enjoy seeing any fighters join the roster, with my second biggest dream fighter already residing on the selection screen, and just be happy for those who have their dreams come true. And that'll be my list. What did you think? You find any characters you can agree with? Or are there some fighters you'd much rather see? Let me know in the comments section below. Leave your ideas for the future top 10s. And have a wonderful Tuesday. Until next time, bye-bye.